Hey, I wanted to just share something that I find to be really encouraging right now. I was brought up in Pentecostalism, and in our Pentecostal charismatic world, we were always praying and hoping for something called revival. And we thought it was going to look a certain way. First of all, it would probably take place in a church building or at least in a Christian event. And it had to be really demonstrative and really emotional because that's evidence that people are having encounter with the divine. And so we were always hoping for this thing called revival, where God would be moving and people would be saved. And yet, I am wondering if we may actually be in a revival right now, because God is working all around this nation. In all the major cities, there are these peaceful protests. There are these marches for racial equality. There are these prayer walks that are taking place. And again, there is something really powerful happening in our nation, even while most church buildings are still closed, while most of the Christian events are still canceled. Because I think God is bigger than our box. He moves in ways that are beyond us. And I do believe that the Spirit of God is convicting people's hearts right now. He's convicting this nation of our sin, of seeing people as less than image bearers of God, repenting of ways that we did wrong to one another. And I think God is also working and healing hearts. And so this is revival, where we are experiencing God's salvation. And it's happening in all the major cities here in this nation. It is the conversation that's being had right now. And I believe that God is working through it. Because, hey, if you think about it, what good is it if we have our mystical experiences in our church buildings, but it doesn't change how we love people? And it doesn't lead to a newfound love for humanity. I mean, what good is it if we have our Christian events? They may even be in stadiums, yet it doesn't transform society. And yet I think what we're witnessing is people having a change of heart, and we're seeing reformation. Because I think true revival should lead to reconciliation in relationships, because God's love has done a number on our hearts, and also it should lead to reformation in society and in culture. And I wonder if that is something that's happening before our very eyes right now. So I find it really, really encouraging. Hey, got some homework for you. I want you to look in the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That's in the New Testament of the Holy Scriptures. And look up how many times Jesus said worship him versus follow him. And you'll find that many more times he called us to follow him. And I bring that up because I think my idea of revival is always, people just falling on their face and worshiping Jesus. And I'm a big fan of that personally. And I love seeing that take place. Yet, I wonder how many times people have worshiped Jesus without ever truly following him. And to follow him means that we love our neighbor as ourselves. Following him means that we don't just love God, but we love our fellow human being. So, man, with that, I feel like, there is a rally for Team Humanity right now. I feel like people are responding to the work of the Holy Spirit all around this nation. And I don't know about you, but I find that encouraging.